and welcome. In this video, we will cover how to create detailed animations in Blender using the custom control rig, and which settings to use when exporting to Unreal Engine. We'll also take a look at a simple way to paint your own makeup or face designs. Finally, I'll show you how you can create variations of the head shapes within certain limitations, so that they can still function. Using that, combined with new face paintings, you can get some pretty cool and different results that we can then export to Unreal Engine. Some knowledge of Blender is expected. This is not so much a tutorial as it is a workflow guide, so that you can successfully create these elements in Blender and transfer them to Unreal Engine. Let's get started. First up, animation. Alright, so let me turn on the female head 01 and the female skeleton. I'll enter pose mode on the skeleton. I can turn the face tweak collection on and off in the armature properties to keep my workspace clean. Alright, so let's whip out a quick test animation. I'll use I to keyframe all the face bones and then enable auto keying on the active keying set, which I'll set to the available keys, which are the ones that I just made. And now I'll go through the timeline making adjustments to the pose. And here's my test animation. After you've created your animation, go back to Object Mode and select the head and the skeleton, and go to File, Export, FBX. And here's the settings I use. Limit to selected objects, object types, armature and mesh, scale, FBX unit scale, under geometry, smoothing, set to face. Under armature, enable only deform bones, and disable add leaf bones. In animation, enable just the key all bones and force start end keyframes options. Then, up at the top, next to operator presets, click add so that you can save these settings as a preset for next time, and export. Now in Unreal Engine, you can create a new folder called Face Animations in the Animation folder, and drag your FBX into the content browser. Search for animation and choose Import Only Animations. Select the appropriate skeleton, male or female, and import. Open the animation, and you're done. You can now use the animation in your project. Next up, let's take a look at adding a new makeup design. I'll select this head and plan on putting my new makeup at this point in the head's materials node chain at the end, but you can put it at whatever point in the chain you think would work best. It will be overlaid on top of anything that comes before it. Add an image texture. I'll make mine 2048 by 2048 and set the alpha to 0. Add a mix color node, and we will mix in our new image using the alpha. The result should look the same. Now, go to Texture Paint mode and make sure that you have your new image selected, and paint. If you'd like to see your texture without the rendering applied, you can shift-click it in the shader editor. If you'd like to use the same brushes I'm using, I will put a link in the description. Once you've finished painting, open an image editor and save your image to your computer. Now, let's go to Unreal Engine. Open the Textures folder, then Makeup or Head FE, whatever you think is applicable, and drag in your image. Now, go to Materials and open the Master Material Head Female. Drag your image into the same spot in the chain as you had it in Blender. And add a lerp node by pressing L and clicking. Put your image into slot B and the previous lerp node into slot A. Plug your lerp node into the next lerp node in the chain. For the alpha, add a multiply node and add a scalar parameter by pressing S and clicking. Name the scalar parameter the name of your makeup _ amount to match the name of the other parameters. You can also put it in a group. Leave its default value at 0. Save the master material. Open the material instance of the head you'd like to use, and adjust the material instance's new parameter. Finally, let's go back to Blender and make a new head shape. Duplicate the head you want to edit, and make sure the base's shape key is selected. Otherwise, you'll have problems. Now you can sculpt your new head shape. Make sure the forehead stays in generally the same location, and the eyebrows as well, so it lines up with the hair and eyebrows. Also, be careful in the eye area that you do not deform the eyes too much. By combining a new head shape with your own original painting, you can create some pretty cool stuff. This is also how you could adjust the chest and neck so that it fits into your outfit. If you simply want to delete those elements, go to Edit mode and select all the faces you'd like to delete and press X. Once you've finished making your adjustments, select the head and its skeleton and click Export FBX, and use the same settings as with the animation earlier, but deselect the animation option. These are the settings to use. If you've created a new head shape, name it something like SK Head 06FE. If you want to override an existing one, name it the same name as the original. You can always come back and export the original again from Blender. Now, in Unreal Engine, import your new head into the appropriate folder. If the one you're importing has the same name as the existing one, it will simply override it. If you're importing a new one, we'll need to set some settings. Deselect Recalculate Normals, and deselect Build Nanite, and deselect Import Materials. Select the female skeleton or male if you're doing a male head, and import. Then, open your new head skeletal mesh and link the appropriate materials. So if you duplicated head 01FE, use MI head 01FE, and you're good to go. That is the end of this video. I hope you have found these videos helpful and that you have fun using these modular stylized heads in your projects, and that they add some new life to your game or animation. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out and I will do my best to help out however I can. Also, if you're liking the head pack and it's working well for you, if you have time to leave a review here, that is much appreciated.